So, here we are. This is Anthony Mantle, cinematographer, and Lars von Trier, the director of Dogville, sitting here. And we're going to have a little chat about this film. And this is the test for Dogville, which Lars is going to talk to us about.
Well, I don't know. We made a test, I think, some months before we shot the film, just to see how we wanted it to look. At that time, the idea was only to use a black background, as you can see here in the first scene.
Yeah.
And then later on, I think, I don't know. Yeah, in the test, I think there's something with a white background also. But in order to not make it too irritating and dull, we thought it would be good to have a white background also.
That was your idea, wasn't it? Probably.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, here you can see this is not. It's kind of a primitive test, as you can see here. There's some light hitting the curtain, the horizon.
It's amazing how similar, in many ways, it's very similar to the final film. The idea is there, the size is there, the dimension.
Yeah, more or less, maybe.
And this was also a question of convincing, presumably, your financiers.
No,
not at all. No. They were there.
No, that was not why we did it.
Okay, it's just to believe.
No, I don't think they could be convinced, especially not by this. No, this was more a test for ourselves.
Okay.
Also to decide where we were going with the sound.
Yeah.
And if we could use kind of a realistic sound to this very non-realistic image. And also, if we should see lamps, there was when you go into a thing like this, then there's a lot of things to be discussed. It looks very simple, but there's a lot of things you have to decide all the time. If you have so few props, then you have to decide which ones are going to be there and why. There's a lot of decisions when you minimize things.
Get rid of all the rubbish.
Yeah, and here you can easily see, the whole studio, and that was a possibility also when we shot the film. We decided not to see it, but it was a possibility. It was also a possibility to even have more lamps and more theater feeling or soundstage feeling. All these things were to be discussed.
And they were discussed. I came in late on this. I remember seeing this test in the local cinema when you were about to view it, and I was out there doing something else. And so I saw it with completely fresh eyes, and do remember that, especially the vertical stuff from above, amazed me. I just hadn't seen anything like it. That was typical me as a photographer. I didn't want to see lights and things like that particularly, but I do remember seeing the vertical above shots and thinking that's extraordinary, completely extraordinary, because I'd never seen anything like this before.
No, and I would say that taking the lamps away and taking the soundstage feeling away, of course, made it more alive somehow.
Yeah.
Or you didn't have this Verfremdung, as we call it in Danish.
Fremdung.
Verfremdung. It's a Danish word. No, it's a German word.
Das Fremdung.
Verfremdung.
Tell me what that is.
Verfremdung, I think, is a term. What?
What is it? Some kind of
no. It's a term. I remember it from film science. That it has to do with that you should not believe that what you see is reality. Right? You should always be reminded that this is something that is made, for some reason or another.
Okay.
Or, I'm sure that could be. The shadow of the camera here is Verfremdung.
Yeah, okay. And the curtain in the background.
Yeah. Stuff and lamps and whatever, is Verfremdung. I'm sure it was.
Artifice. No?
Yeah, but this scene where with the rape is, of course, the one scene where, what should we say, the whole idea kind of...
Yeah.
It's very clear that you see everybody all the time.
Hidden activities going on behind walls, and aren't there? It's very, very funny to see this testing. The colours are different, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but also we tried other things. So this was Danish actors, all of them, and very good. And this was to kind of find, what should we say, the tone of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But this is also, when I see this, that's a film I also want to see, the Danish version.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it thinking, now, what is it we've done so much better and spent so much money on?
It's a different film, of course. This was more primitive.
Skyd dem og brænd byen.
And here we have music suddenly, use of music.
Yeah, we tried that also, and also the effect of this theatrical burning, fire effect.
Yeah.
This film that we have just seen a glimpse of is something that could have been interesting to see.
Hello, my name is Peter Hjort. I was the visual effects supervisor for Dogville, and that means I primarily worked on these shots of Dogville seen from above. What Lars von Trier, the director, wanted was a shot where we could see all of the set, the complete Dogville, and all of its inhabitants. And he also wanted to be able to move the camera into very close detail, like we do in this opening shot. And the idea was actually very simple to explain to me, and it was fairly simple to do a storyboard of the way he wanted the compositions of the shots. The problem is, if you want to shoot a shot like this with a real camera, you need to place the camera at a distance from the subject you're shooting, and that distance would be very close with the set that was actually used for the film. So after having a look at what Lars wanted, we drew up these storyboards. We decided to shoot with a lot of cameras. This is a rig of 13 cameras put together, and we moved that rig around. So in total we had 156 shots of Dogville from above that was combined into one. This is all the little angles from the cameras. This is what the cameras saw. It was standard DV cameras. So this is some of the 156 like basic angles that went into the shot. And it's all moving images. The thing is, when you combine shots like this, something funny happens to the perspective. Some things will be seen directly from above, and some things will be seen a little from an angle. And when you combine all this, it doesn't look like a